How's it going? Happy Monday. We have tons of items to ship out, but today I'm going to show you the best items that sold over the weekend. Let's jump right into it. First off, proud to be an American. This is Roper. It's the USA flag version. So what this is a red, white, and blue long sleeve button down shirt. Roper, it's an okay brand, but when you find something flashy like this, it can sell for some decent money. This one's going for $20 plus $8.99 shipping. We're going to go from the lowest items to the highest. So if you want to be that guy, you can skip to the end and look at just the best item, or you can watch through. This shirt I paid probably like, I don't know, like $5, something like that. Don't really want to go more than 5 on Roper brands, but it's a good pickup. It sold really fast. It was actually in one of my most recent sourcing videos too. So we're going to pack this in the poly mailers. Of course, Jiaropack Taylor 10 gets you 10% off. I like the royal blue. And yeah, these are good sales. I've been selling Western shirts for a long time. I'm in a Western area. I mean, Texas is Texas, right? So we got like our cowboy shirts. We got our pearl snaps, of course. And I don't know. I think this is a great one, especially with like summer coming up, especially 4th of July. If you guys think about it, what do people wear on 4th of July? They wear the red, white, and blue. So you're talking like board shorts, swim trunks, any types of tops really. They're going to have a little bit of a spike in the summertime because of 4th of July. Next up, we got this Patagonia. Now this is organic cotton. This is a pair of shorts. It did have the drawstrings, but it wasn't like a swim trunk. Kind of lightweight. Patagonia is still a brand that I pick up all the time when I find it. I do pay up for it if I need to. This was a size small, so even in a size small, sold for pretty good money, and it's going to go for, let's see, $4.55, and that's a 7-ounce item. As you guys know, shipping prices are on the rise as always. I was talking to a pretty experienced reseller. She's been doing it for like 10 years, and yeah, she's seen the price hikes like crazy. So, you know, it's one of those things. You either up your shipping cost or you just, you know, try to find items that are worth it. Maybe it's not worth it for you if you can't afford the shipping, but for something like Patagonia, it's going to be good. This is a Lululemon quarter zip. Now this quarter zip only went for 20 plus shipping, just like the Patagonia piece, and I don't know, I really thought this would go for more money. I think Lululemon is getting slightly flooded. More so just like, you know, whenever a brand comes out, they have their prices pretty high. It's like at a premium. And then over the years, you know, they start pumping out more of those items, and then there's more in the used market, so they become, you know, more available to people. So they're not necessarily paying up for them because, well, either it's, you know, not quite going out of style, but I will tell you, cheaper brands will copy the styles of Lululemon. I'm sure you've seen, like, what is it? I think it's a Members Mark, like the Sam's Club has, you know, chino shorts and pants that have the same style button as the Lululemon. Same with George even has them from Walmart. So a lot of these like cheaper mass producing brands, they'll copy your Lululemons and things like that. So eventually the prices of those will go down ever so slightly. We have 511 Tactical. Now this is a pair of black 511 Tacticals. It has the zip off. So zip off means like convertible pants. You can turn them into shorts. I remember as a child, my mom bought this, I think as a strategy so that I could have like a pair of pants and then just unzip them and wear them as shorts. Well, I remember specifically because they were from JCPenney's and they were a pair of maroon pants, and I never wore like the pants version of them, but I would wear the shorts all the time. So after one season of wearing them, when I went back to wearing the pants, the bottom leg half was way darker and the color was more rich because it hadn't been washed that many times. And then the top half was like faded, and I still wore them because my mom said you have to wear these because you never wear them, and like, you know, we didn't have like the most money and stuff. So I remember that being a pretty brutal day in elementary school, having the mismatch. People were just like, dude, what happened to your pants? And I was like, had to explain the whole pants shorts thing, and you know, that's pretty much how that went. Next up, we got this Pendleton. Now this is a Sherpa jacket, and I bought this, and I think I paid like 10 bucks for it. I thought I was getting a steal. This was a women's piece, not a men's piece. Women's Pendleton, Sherpa zip jacket, not as valuable as the men's. I don't know. It sold for $22.05 plus $8.99 shipping. So I definitely made my money back, but this is a pretty big package, and I really wish I hadn't had bought it. But You live and you learn. One way to identify if it is a women's, first off, the sizing. This is an XL, but it's probably sized more like a men's medium. And then that's kind of hard to identify in the store unless you kind of like put it up to you and just look. But I realized the zipper was on the opposite side. So whenever the zipper's on the opposite side, that's going to be women's a lot of the time. There's definitely some men's brands that do, put the zipper on the wrong side, but it's few and far between. So you live and you learn, but Pendleton's still a strong brand. Some of their button-ups aren't like quite as good. Like their outerwear and flannels, those types of pieces do really well. Then we have Tried and True. This is a vintage Polo Ralph Lauren. This is going to be a short sleeve polo. It's white, but it had like this little like insignia type thing, embroidered. Not the pony, but it had something to do with like, I think it was yachting or boating or something like that. So anytime Ralph Lauren's has the collab, or maybe it's just called their line, like the nautical lines, I'm not sure exactly. And then it had like a trim of blue around the collar. So that trim is going to help increase the price. Anything in Ralph Lauren that is different than the normal stuff, I'm pretty bullish on it just because it sells better. This sold for $22 plus shipping, so if you're right at like that $31 mark for $5 cost of goods, that's going to get the job done for me. And we're getting a little bit better here. This is $24.99 plus shipping. It's another 511 Tactical. Now this is their chino pants, not zip off, not cargo, but chino pants. I still like picking this up just because I think they sell a little bit better than the cargo ones, depending. Nah, I think they do. And part of that is because I don't come across them a lot. And I know a lot of like military police, security guard, like those types of people, they like the ripstop technology. They like, I think honestly, just having the name 511 Tactical sounds cool. So I think some people buy it just because the branding is pretty cool, And I remember when these first came out, or at least when I first saw them was in Academy, they were like $75 brand new. I think the last time I saw them in the retail stores, because I don't really go to retail stores, it was at a Bass Pro Shop, and it was like $45. So they definitely have dropped, and that's within like 10 years, right? So they've dropped a little bit, but that's kind of how it goes. This next one here is Bad Birdie. Bad Birdie is a golf brand. This one was kind of weird because it's an XL, but it pit to pit is closer to a medium. So I know some shirts like fit more trim than others in like their standard sizing. I'm not sure. Hopefully this one works out. I have XL and then in parentheses medium so that people can see. And it went for $26.99. Now, one thing I don't really understand about Bad Birdie is typically if you're golfing and you get a birdie, that's like an amazing thing. It's not a bad thing, but then they call it a bad birdie. So I don't know if that has to do with like you cheated to get that birdie, like you just dropped the ball and instead of like actually, hitting your shots. But I don't know, Bad Birdie regardless, flashier stuff. It's still a pretty good brand. I probably undersold that ever so slightly, but maybe it was the size discrepancy that caused, like the offers to kind of come in low, and then I just accepted it because, why not? Next one, great brand. I don't pick it up very often. Pretty ugly shirt. This is a green long sleeve button shirt, and it's got some like blue lines, like grid pattern on it. This is Arc'teryx. Arc'teryx is probably one of the strongest brands that I pick up. CC Filson, Arc'teryx, kind of on the same line, in my opinion. This one went for $33.16 plus the $8.99 shipping. It's insane. Like, I don't really find a lot of Arc'teryx pieces, but they have them in all sorts of sizes and, categories. Their outerwear obviously is going to be their best stuff, but they also have like your casual wear, your button-ups, and things like that. So if you guys saw, I took out the clear bag from the item. Typically all items are shipped with the clear bag with the SKU, but if I'm at like 8.1 ounces on the scale, if you take out that clear bag, you can save yourself like 0.2 to 0.3 ounces, and that gets you under like the next shipping price category. So the way it works for USPS, I believe it's 0 to 4 ounces is one price, 4 ounces to 8 ounces is another price, and then it jumps up 8 to 12, and then 12 to 1 pound. And then from there, you kind of got to, figure out how you want to ship best, but it'll go up in price. So it's always good to save like just that little bit. You know, for me, that's like $1. So like, you know, if I have 100 items to ship out today and I save 10 of those, you know, bags, that's $10 if they fall in those lines. Gets a little better. So we got Carhartt. Carhartt's a great brand. This is a fire resistance. New with tags. This went for $39.99 plus shipping. It's a pair of cargo pants. Size 34-34, but whenever it's actually measured out, it ended up being 33 inches for the waist and then 35 for the inseam. So Carhartt, I mean, it's a tremendous brand. Some of the stuff isn't as great. You got to be a little careful with it, but a lot of it does pretty well. And then, of course, new with tags, you always have a better shot of making some good money when it's new with tags. Because people like new. That's just kind of how that goes. Yeah, fire resistance, if you guys didn't know, the more it's... dang it, I got to get a piece of tape on this one. It's like at the brink of busting out of this bag. So I put a little piece of tape on it sometimes just to secure it ever so slightly. And if you wash fire resistant a lot, it actually loses its fire resistibility. So I had a friend who's working with that, and he was just like, yeah, if it's worn, like been washed so many times, it loses its ability to protect you. But hey, whatever, man. That one's brand new. Next up, really good brand here. This is Ryan Michaels, or it's Ryan Michael. There's no S. This is a silk linen blend. It's a long sleeve snap button shirt, or a snap shirt, not button. It's a size small. So this sold for $48.86. That's a really good sale, especially on a small size. If that was a bigger size, it could probably go for a little more money. And again, this is 8.2 ounces. So if we ditch the bag, which Randy will relabel with the new SKU whenever she's doing the next item. And yeah, this is a great sale. If it was a bigger size, though, I probably could have got closer to like $75, I think. And that would have been awesome. But, you know, a size small is a size small. I don't really discriminate when it comes to sizing because, you know, when you have a massive store and you got a bunch of eyes on your page, you're going to get more of those sales. And speaking of like eyes on your page, I wonder, like everyone talks about summer slowdown. I don't really see it in the clothing category. I'm not trying to be like, you know, showy or whatever, but clothing seems to sell about the same year round. Now, I don't know for the other categories, if you're talking toys, electronics, things like that. Like maybe that's more of a fourth quarter, like Christmas present type thing or what. But from my experience, clothing has been pretty steady as long as you list, you know, consistently the same, you know, type of stuff. We have the next sale here. This is a pair of Allen Edmonds. Now this is the Grayson, and they actually came with the bags. These are from a local thrift store of mine. I paid $20 a piece for these, but I bought 5 pairs. So these are the, I think, second to last ones to sell. They look like this, and they came with the shoe horns. You know, they had some wear on it, but what you want to look for is like this back piece. You want to make sure that this isn't worn too bad. You want to make sure there's not any scratches, which this one has some scuffing around the toe, and it actually had a pretty big scratch on the other shoe, and it still sold for $55.99 plus $8.99 shipping. Now, I'm not too much of a savage. I'm going to pack those in a box. Ideally, I would have like a custom box where it's not a priority box, but because priority boxes are just so convenient, I'm going to pay up a little bit, ship with this box, just because, well, it's convenient. Almost everything in my store, I would say like 99% gets shipped in poly mailers, but every so often we ship with the bags for shoes. And typically it's over $50. Now, if it's a dress shoe that's under $50, I don't really want to put them in a bag because it can beat them up pretty good. But at the same time, if you're not paying that much for them, I don't think they need to have that much protection. Like the people kind of understand, like, look, this is not, you know, this might be for that one interview or that wedding or something like that. They may not be wearing it to a really expensive meeting or something like that. Not to say that, like, you know, some sales aren't as valuable as others. Like, all sales are definitely valuable, but when it comes to like time spent to box things up right, usually I just do that on the more expensive stuff. So I went ahead and cut slits. You can use the box resizers, but for something this easy, you want to cut it so that it doesn't like move around that much in the box. So that's what we do here. And then now we have a much smaller box, which I don't know if the dimension change is going to save me, any money, but that is what we're dealing with. And I'm going to reinforce it with tape after the video because I don't want that noise to go off in y'all's ears that many times. I usually have a tape measure, but I'm just going to borrow the ruler here we use for listing. So we got 13 by 8 by 6 for that one. So 13 by 8 by 6. And it looks like it's going to be, oh man, this is actually a pretty big difference. So ground advantage would be, shoot, 858, and then priority is 1201. So that's $3.50 difference. You guys let me know in the comments down below. Would you get, like, try to find a random brown box? Now I have these boxes by eBay. These are the 16 by 12 by 8s. So I could put it in there to save the $3.50, but yeah, I already boxed it up. So we're just going to pay for it. That's kind of against my nature. It kind of hurts to do, but I got enough money for them. You know, I paid 20. It sold for like, what, 60 and some change after shipping. So I don't know. I'm really not I'm not sweating it too much, but it's weird. Do you guys have any things like that where sometimes you feel like, you know, pinching pennies or bending down to pick up a penny, but then other times you're like, dude, I'm totally not messing with that because I want the convenience factor. You know, I'm going to buy the energy drink for, you know, $3 instead of go to Dollar Tree and get it for $1.25, which they need to change that name. It needs to be $1.25 Tree. All right, guys, last item, the best item I've had in a very long time. This is Stefano Ricci. It's a silk shirt. This is a long sleeve button shirt, a men's medium, white, blue, and it's got some geometric red circles with like some blue ovals around it. This had a stain on it, guys. It went for $100 plus $8.99 shipping with the stain. I had it listed for $200. By far the best brand that I've picked up ever. No, not ever, but like I haven't heard of it. So like it's the best brand that I haven't heard of in a very long time. And it's crazy because, yeah, this is $100, but I'm not going to ship it in a box. I mean, it's a shirt, so it's going to go in a poly mailer. And that is, it makes me happy. It really helps with the sales. It's good to have home runs like that, or like, those are like grand slams, 100 plus. It's good to have those mixed in with all the other items, because as you see here, these 3 boxes of inventory, that's all about to be, well, those are sales. They're all about to be packed up, and they were less than 20 plus shipping. Somewhere 10 plus $8.99, 15, 20, or like, you know, $19.99. I didn't put any of the $19.99s in there, just like the solid 20s. And that's what makes this work. I remember some people commented recently on like some of my reels, like especially the reels that get like tons of views, and then I guess the people that don't actually resell, they just like consume the content, I guess. And they're like, how do you make any money, blah, blah, blah. Well, you make it by doing a lot of work a lot of times and getting a lot of sales. That's pretty much how it works. As long as you're not losing money, you're making money. You just got to double down on it and keep it going. So hope you guys enjoyed the sales. Let me know what was your favorite one. Let me know if you haven't heard of any of these brands, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.